Our children are waiting to see a morning dawn yells, arise, arise. Tomorrow belongs to me.
It's okay because you're Jewish. This late night podcast.
So I've got most of a jug here of Gold Peak tea. We're not sponsored. We're just fans of the Coca-Cola product.
Is that a Coke product?
Yeah, it is actually.
That's a fine product.
It's a hidden Coca-Cola product, but you can always tell because of the bottling.
Oh.
I'm an idiot. I'm dumb.
You're a dumb fuck. I'm sorry.
I'm so fucking stupid. Holy shit.
Wow.
So I guess this is what happens when you delay the podcast for so long that you realize in a fit of pique, I'm flying out tomorrow. We gotta do this now. We gotta go, man. Fucking go.
Do you want to tell this story? Do you want to tell the people? Oh yeah, welcome to the Breakup podcast, storing the things you love.
I'm your host, Sam Young.
I'm your host, Jacob Waskow.
Okay.
So
Jacob Waskow and his grace, his charm, his sensual gait, his beauty. I don't know what else I can say.
It's self-aggrandizing for a major fuck up.
Proceeded to get the time of his flight wrong. Mm-hmm. So he's still going to make his flight, that swell guy.
But 24 hours earlier than he thought.
24 hours earlier than he expected. Mm-hmm. So here we are, emergency recording at the dead of night.
It is 1:30 in the morning here at the Breakup studio. We are going off script. I don't know whose turn it is, but it's been so long. It doesn't matter. Let's just have a refresh.
So
I will go first for
really?
I have also fucked up in my way. Well, that's why we're doing this.
Yeah, that is why we're doing this.
It was an agreed upon thing.
So you're going first. So ask me.
What did you make me do, Jacob?
I made you play the cult classic Deus Ex.
That is actually
the original Deus Ex for the CompuComp, released in early 2001.
Yes.
Right before that glorious time where that fictional game quickly became a reality.
Yes, the dystopia of the future.
So summarize this game for me.
Oh, that I could. Well, let's keep that a surprise. Deus Ex is a game about a man who wears sunglasses at night named J.C. Denton, and he's a man with some cybernetic parts. Yes. He's like a robot man.
He's got nanomachines.
He's working for the CIA. I don't remember what it's actually called.
It's FEMA.
Oh yeah. You know what? That never really struck me. Why? Oh yeah, FEMA. That's a real thing.
Well, it's UNATCO that is under FEMA.
Ah. They were right about those camps.
That literally comes up in the game.
Yep.
I'm a little disappointed that you forgot that already.
So yeah, it is a game about you do missions. There is a conspiracy involving an overmind, like a computer AI. I do know things about this game just from having learned about it beforehand.
So there's
various cults.
There's a conspiracy in that there is the Illuminati, and the Illuminati has been controlling things for some time, and you are the one person who can maybe stop them, or you join them, or whatever, because this game has multiple endings.
Or you're like the Singularity.
Except you didn't get to any of those endings.
I did not get any of those endings. In fact, I did not get to any point that Jacob wanted me to get, because, in my defense, I've been very busy lately, and I'm not the young man I once was, and video games don't hold as much interest for me anymore.
Oh.
Which is not.
Is this what this is going to be? Is this literally you're done with video games?
No, that's not. Because you've made me play video games many times before on this podcast, and I've accomplished them, in my own personal opinion, quite handedly. I just couldn't get into this, and every time I wanted to pick it up, I was like, but I could do other things that I have to do.
Literally anything else.
It didn't help that I got pretty burned early on because I decided that it would be a good idea to do the tutorial level. And I don't know if there was a glitch or something, but there's a bit where you're supposed to sneak past some guards to get to a door. And I accomplished this several times. And that door would not open. And eventually I was just like, fuck this. I will just play the game.
And then it only got worse from there.
Yeah, well, I will say that for what it is, I liked kind of like the voice acting to some degree. There is a certain je ne sais quoi. There's a new, it's genre appropriate.
I feel like J.C. Denton holds a long tradition of action game protagonists who speak in a creepy monotone no matter the situation.
Yeah.
So there are great parts later on in the game where he will say something after a horrible atrocity has happened. He'll just be like, what a shame. And more moments like that.
I feel bad that I screwed up. This is the fuck up. Oh, man. We've got our... Oh, no, but we can't use swear words in the damn title.
Why not?
Because iTunes doesn't let you.
Why not?
Yeah, I know. That. Yeah, why don't we just repeat it until it's true? I liked... Okay, what I liked of the not very much I played, like the hour or two, or more than an hour.
Lay it on me.
The atmosphere is really cool.
Yeah.
The dialogue is quite well written.
Yeah.
I didn't love the missions because there were two things.
You're out of order. Also, you're supposed to be asking me what I like about this.
I know. Well, you know what? I can't be funny at 1:43 in the morning. I can't. Everything's out the window.
Turn it on. Turn it on.
We're going off script, man. All right, you tell me what you liked about it because I don't have much to say.
Going back to the writing, I think the dialogue in this game is good for its time.
Yeah, okay.
Especially compared to like its contemporaries of like not even Doom, like Quake. Quake was a contemporary of this game, or Daikatana.
Yeah, Quake's a little earlier, yeah.
Or
Daikatana's not very good.
No, but like it was a very serious game for its time. Mm-hmm. Additionally, it's a rare game where you have a lot of choices in how to approach objectives.
Yeah.
Where it actually succeeds in that, and it's not just like, oh, here's 3 ways to do it, and then you're stuck. It's also a game where you can get through it without killing a single person.
Yeah. I actually was considering trying that, but then I kind of was not that great.
It takes some real fucking chicanery to do like the
because as might be obvious from my previous mention, I was not very good at the stealth part. I got so frustrated with the stealth system because I just couldn't figure it out. It is really bad. And I did actually like kind of want to try to do it in a really tricky way, and nope, did not.
I think I loved this game a lot more until someone wisely pointed out to me that this is the red pill before the red pill was a thing and had a lot of negative connotations to it.
Yeah. Well, it's contemporaneous with the Matrix. It's a little after.
Well, I mean more like the red pill subreddit.
Oh,
I mean like...
Sorry, I mean actually talking about the
Matrix. Lizard men control the government, and the government's evil, and they're putting things in the water to make the freaking frogs gay.
That goes back to the 60s, that kind of thing.
But there's a lot more negative connotation to that stuff now than there was when that game was made, which was my point.
Yeah.
Where it's a lot of conspiracy.
It's more mainstream now.
There's a lot more. There's a lot of conspiracy theory stuff that got lightly brushed on and fleshed out to sort of a perverse enjoyment that now, looking back on it, is like, I feel uncomfortable with this now. I feel bad. So yeah, do you have any other comments about?
I liked, as you said, the multiple ways of doing things, and I did get a sense that there were a lot of ways that I could go through stuff. I liked from what's his name, his handler.
Oh, Manderley.
Yeah, I like Manderley. I don't know how like what happens later on.
But Manderley gets shot down like a dog.
Oh shit, man!
Or like you're the one who does it. Probably.
Oh really?
Well, you can basically. There's a point in the game where you basically have to leave UNATCO, which is what I was wanting you to get to, and you walk in on Manderley talking to like one of the big bads, and you can just shoot Manderley.
Yeah, I had a feeling I was going to get betrayed, but I liked, I like spy stuff like this. I like the cloak and dagger. Oh, you're actually working for the bad guys stuff. It's such a cliche, but I'm such a sucker for that.
Well, I think it works a lot in Deus Ex, mostly for the fact that it uses it not to be like you were the villain all along.
Yeah.
It's a stalling tactic so that you realize the full scope of the issue before the narrative of the game really picks up. You're just like, oh, that's the halfway point, realizing I was working for the bad guy, rather than like, that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, it's not just like, oh no, you were the bad guy.
And now you fixed it right at the end, and everything's okay.
I also liked, oh god, the names are escaping me. It's, he's the military guy who kind of... he's in the tutorial. He trains you to use the mines.
Did he have weird eyes?
Yeah.
Gunther.
Yeah.
Who's the cyborg.
Yeah.
Who has many embarrassing death options.
Does he?
You... Basically, a plot point of this game that we've skipped over is you are the latest version of augmented spy soldiers, super spy soldiers, and your coworkers are the previous edition who are feeling like, oh man, we're kind of being sent up high water. One of which is Agent Navarra, who is a sexy femme fatale who can explode. But both of them will explode if you learn their kill phrase.
Oh my god. I make this a promise before God and our audience. I will actually try to play through this game more seriously. I just didn't have the time to do it on the podcast.
I will refuse that you ever complete that. You will never do it.
I don't know about completing. I'll play more of it, though.
But
you also did buy it for me, so I feel some obligation.
Gunther's passphrase is Le Putin machine, because he is German. So there are great moments delivered in that horrible deadpan of you are in the middle of France in an Illuminati basement. Yeah. No joke. It's an Illuminati basement. And... Gunther's like, I'm going to turn you in. I was given an order by Manderley, and if I do this, I will get shiny new upgrades. That's it. That's the line. And
the dialogue
you go, I know something about you, La Putin machine. That will not stop you. Sticks and stones. And he just explodes into like tiny little meat chunks.
He seemed like an oddly out of tone character, which is kind of what I liked about him. Like he's like, oh, you seem a little bit like you're from a different genre.
Well, there's also the whole, and you would have actually probably seen this in the amount you played if you'd explored. He has the most paranoid conversation I've ever seen in fiction, where he's talking to Agent Navarra, and he's discussing issues with the vending machine.
Oh yeah, I feel like I did see this.
And she's like, what do you mean there's a problem with the vending machine? And he's like, I pressed the button for orange soda and it gave me lemon lime. Why? It's probably you just press the lemon lime button. No, the guy who fills up the machine is doing this to me. He's screwing with me intentionally.
Yeah, I did.
Which they later confirm is canon.
That he is screwing with.
That he is actively being screwed with. So, like, at the moment, it's like, whoa, these guys are kind of crazy and going off the edge. No, they're fine. Gunther's just like, he's been constantly shit on by life.
He's not doing well.
And it's kind of beautiful in a way.
Yeah, I felt bad for him. It's funny, in my head, I was like, oh yeah, that guy's totally screwing with him.
Yeah.
So I kind of compare this game... inevitably with one of its descendants, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which I think...
Bloodlines owes a lot to this
game.
game.
Really, no kidding. Which is a game I have played like...
A quadrillion
times. I think I would say that Bloodlines isn't quite as sophisticated in some ways, even though it's the later game, because Bloodlines is significantly more linear, I would say, in some regards.
I would say that a big part of that has to do with comparative budgets.
Yeah, that's true.
Deus Ex was made by Ion Storm, the good half of Ion Storm that had more money than sense.
More money than God.
But instead of having John Romero being like on there to ruin everything, they just had lots of money to make this guy's weird niche like pride project.
Yeah. Whereas Bloodlines, while like I love Bloodlines, does not have much of a budget in some regards. And it does show.
Yeah, it looks better. A lot of the women look like worse than Barbie dolls, but otherwise they look like human beings.
I would say Bloodlines reflects the role-playing game it's based on. Very cool story and aesthetic. The mechanics are a bit clunky.
And the other part I like about Deus Ex, which you don't see in games.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been another game quite like it. You will walk around these maps, these quite sizable maps, and just see people talking about philosophy out of nowhere. And it's very pertinent to where you are in the story. And it reads a lot like what walking simulators want to be.
Oh, yeah.
In that walking simulator games are about, you go from one place to the next and there's a narrative or something happening.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to set up a mood or a theme or an idea. Whereas Deus Ex gets its cake and eat it too. Mm-hmm. It gets to be a game that has actual sort of engagement from the player. While also sort of describing this exegesis on politics in democracy.
And like the singularity.
And how, and like the relationship between governance and machines and what that will end up being potentially.
And it's unfortunate because I kind of skipped through stuff like that because I tried to rush through it because I was trying to get it done. And no, it was bad.
And I really wanted you to take it slow. I wanted you to just be like...
I think for maybe this is a limitation of this podcast is that, well, it's funny, Jacob and I
think of the limitation of your life is that you are busy with things. Whereas I just sit at home not wearing pants and being like, man, when's Sam's going to finish this thing so I can listen to it?
Yeah, but I sit at home and I don't wear pants and I'm busy, and that's the only real difference. Jacob and I have actually been discussing doing kind of a long form thing for this, and I feel like maybe the video game...
It's the episode after the next one. It's going to be our first long form.
I have a couple of things I have an idea for in that. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like Deus Ex probably would have been a better choice for that, or that would have been a good choice for a long one, because I could have done it in chunks.
Well, I would say for Deus Ex, you have to either spend the 40 hours to play it, which is, I think, even too long for a long form one.
Oh no, that's way too long.
Yeah.
The thing that happened to me is I kind of put it off at first, and then I started doing it.
And then I wasn't.
No, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it at all. I just didn't. It didn't grab me enough from the start, and the gameplay showed its age. And so I kept putting it up, and I got overwhelmed that I kept thinking, "Oh shit, I got to do this. I got to do the podcast," and then I just didn't. So I apologize for that.
And
like,
for this,
quite sincerely,
for this you will be punished.
For this, I will be punished. Well, let's talk about that later. So my grade on Deus Ex is incomplete. I think that's...
Give it an eye.
What I liked, and what I didn't like had more to do with the limitations of the engine. Of the engine. But I will kind of try to give it a chance when I have, I'm in a headspace to do so.
Thank you. Thank you, America.
Thank you, America. So Jacob... No, you asked me this.
Sam, what the hell did you make me listen to?
Yeah. What did I do? I'm real keen to hear this, because either this is going to be a real, Jacob takes me down a peg, or it's going to be a real, I think maybe a meh. Okay. I made you listen to an album I'm very fond of by the Decemberists called The Hazards of Love. Would you care to give us a summary of The Hazards of Love? Because it does have a little plot.
A little plot. Sam, it's got two whole paragraphs on the Wikipedia.
It does, doesn't it?
The Hazards of Love is a concept album about a young woman riding near a taiga, and she discovers a weird fae man who is
the form of a deer, I believe.
Deer human, and they fuck. And they're like, man.
Yeah, they do.
They're like, man, we should totally shack up. But the deer man's like, oh, fuck, my mom's going to be really mad at me. I had sex with a human. And
Queen of the forest.
The Queen of the Forest, who I like to represent as the taiga itself.
That kind of is what she is.
Which is a very yonic symbol.
Yes. Good use of yonic.
Thank you. Which I keep mispronouncing.
I think you say yonic.
Who's like, oh, I don't think you should date this human. And he's like, you're not the boss of me, Mom. Except you totally are. Please don't kill me. Just please let me fuck her so hard.
But he gets her knocked up. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah. Well, I wouldn't be able to tell. The lyrics were basically indecipherable.
Yeah, well,
so, in one of the more legible, listenable songs, you are introduced to the narrator, who is voiced by the same guy as the male protagonist.
Yeah.
Which is not confusing and is representative of art, and that's just how concept albums are.
I see where this is going.
Called The Rake.
I wouldn't describe the Rake as the narrator.
He literally says, "I am your narrator so far."
Does he?
Yes.
I've just never noticed that.
He's probably saying that sardonically.
Yeah.
Who
I have a story about that song. The Rake song.
married a woman in his 21st year, and then he was like, "Oh man, this is gonna be really rad." And then not quite sex education, I guess, in this time and place wasn't very good because she starts having kids, and he's like, "Oh no!"
Oh no! Well, she dies in childbirth.
Well, no, she dies after like the fourth child, who also dies with her. So he's got 3 kids, and he's like, "Well, being a parent sucks. I'm gonna murder my children."
I miss being a swinging bachelor.
to which he does, and so the forest mom is like, this guy's a fucking go-getter. This guy,
he's going places in this organization.
He knows what he is doing. He's a good guy. Listen, so there's this knocked up woman who I'm not going to tell you is knocked up. You should totally kidnap her because the only person she's interested in is my dumb shit of a son.
My weird changeling kid.
And I would have think the Rake would cut his losses with, "Wow, you're a woman who's around my age who also hates kids. We should have sex." And so
I would have liked the album even more if that is how it went down.
However, being the evil man that he is, he's like, okay. So he kidnaps her, and she's like, "Oh, come on!" And there's this very prolonged thing of her calling out for her love, and he's running by. So he passes by a river. He's like, "I have to cross this river to save her. River, if you let me cross, you can kill me." And I didn't realize rivers could consent to this. And I guess there was no way to get back out, realizing that he was damning both him and his love-to-be to death when he makes the deal. He does it anyway. This is a pretty phase story. He saves her. They go back to the river. They realize, oh, we have to die. Well, we'll be married through death. Yes. And I realized that line, I was listening to one of Strong Sad's from Homestar Runner's Ye Olden Tales, and it is not very close to The Maiden and the Ocelot.
I don't know that.
This is an actual Strong Bad short, or Homestar Runner short, where it is basically a plot of a maiden who an evil ocelot's like, you have to be married within...
This is a real thing?
This is a real thing.
I've seen... Okay, I am a big Homestar Runner fan, take that as you will. I do not know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and so the comparisons there were alarming. So Sam, why do you like this?
Oh, interesting. Okay. Not quite for the reasons you would think. I don't really care about the concept album aspect. I think it's pretty, and I kind of like the Changeling story. I like the music a lot, especially the harder stuff, kind of with the Queen of the Forest and the Rake. Its highs are really high, and its lows I can mostly kind of ignore, because there's a couple of songs that I think are just like meh. The Decemberists are really, really acquired taste. One I don't normally really go for, because I find at its worst, and it occasionally is like this on this album, they're very whiny and very indecipherable.
I'm sorry, Sam. I'm going to have to cut you off right here, because that is an understatement.
Yeah, that is
a critical understatement with the sheer whiny factor.
Let me put it this way. If you know the Decemberists, if I have to hear the words crane wife again, I will fucking kill someone. But that being said, I really have an affection for albums that use leitmotifs that kind of revisit themes, like musical motifs over again, and do them in different ways, and use them as characters and things like that. Because again, I don't really care about the plot, but I think kind of the way the music and the songs have characters is very cool and very well done.
So you like that it's a concept album?
Or
like that it's a rock opera?
Yeah, okay, there's a better way of putting it. I like the rock opera aspect. I don't really care about the concept album aspect.
So you would say that Styx's best album was Kilroy, or whatever
it's
called. That is their best album, period, and everyone who disagrees with you is wrong.
Whoa, okay, hang on. Whoa. Where do we get that? Where do we come back? Dissect that.
Because clearly albums that have characters that are consistent throughout songs are better than
That is not you. That is incorrect. That is exactly the opposite of what I said.
I'm just compared to the rest of Styx's terrible.
Why are we talking about Styx?
I'm just thinking about other concepts.
It's 2 a.m. and we're talking about Styx. Now, if we want to talk about concept albums, we can talk about Dark Side of the Moon, which you liked, which also I think has.
It doesn't have characters.
I would. That's a longer argument. Anyway, I like.
It has a plot. I don't think it has characters. I think you, the listener, are the character.
Ooh, turn it on my head. You got more intellectualized than I did there.
Fuck, it's 2 a.m.
It's 2 a.m. It's 2:02.
I have a master's degree.
And you're not busy.
And I'm an idiot.
You brought this upon yourself.
So, just as an aside, having to get Sam to wear pants again this evening. As sort of abashedly,
Speaking wearing pants.
Abashedly knocking on his door and being like, I don't have a day. I need to leave like today.
This is really funny because my room is right next to Jacob's, and I hear this. Oh shit! And there's this kind of boom, 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 and I'm like, he's gonna come knock on my door.
Dunk, 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 dunk.
And I'm like, oh, I think I know what happened.
Oh my god.
Anyway, what did you think of this album that I made you listen to?
I think a problem with me as a music listener, and I'm taking full fault for this,
all right,
is I have a harder time with lyrics-heavy songs.
Mm.
And I think this isn't necessarily I don't like lyrics.
Yeah.
It's that I have a harder time dissecting the meaning of lyrics out from the music.
Oh, okay.
And that's definitely not something I can always do on
That's
a single listen.
Yeah.
It takes me like a couple of listens to a song, and it has to be a song I quite like for me to be like, I get to engage with this.
This is very ironic, but we'll get to why this is ironic.
We really sort of feel this out, and it's cool and it's neat. So
that all being said,
hearing the first song on this album,
which is an instrumental, I think,
I'm like, okay, it's moody, and then it gets into the lyrics.
Yeah.
Sam, I couldn't tell you what they said. Straight up. I tried multiple times. Okay. And it was just, all I could make out was, it was like hearing a 5 degrees worse, shittier version of the Taiwanese cry in Return to Innocence, the Elders drinking song. I was just like, oh, this is melodious, but it's whiny.
Yeah, very high-pitched.
And it's just people complaining, and here's some more people complaining. And then the Rake song happened. I was like, oh, I can dig it.
Yeah,
this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right,
awesome.
Man. And then the Rake song ends.
Okay, I think my favorite song off that is A, the Rake song, and B, the Queen's the Queen's rebuke when it's like the heavy rock, like she's telling them off. Okay, here's the ironic thing. I couldn't tell you a single lyric of this album, and I, even if I'm listening to it, like you, can't understand a word.
Okay,
with some exceptions, the Rake song.
But you were able to appreciate the moods it evokes.
Yeah, I don't. Me as a Sam, I don't listen to lyrics. I actually have a very bad ear for lyrics. So for me, music is almost completely emotional. It's not like
So we're actually on the same page on this.
Yeah, and we just see it in a different way. Because despite my intellectualizing of why I like it, it's actually mostly, that sound good, melody nice.
Whereas I was somewhere in the middle of that, and I was just like, this reminded me of a video I watched when I was a kid.
Okay.
I do not remember the title of it, but I think
Things come out at 2 a.m.
I think it was literally a animated version of... What's the musical or opera that has Hall of the Mountain King as a song?
Peer Gynt.
Or it was like some musical where like everyone was instruments and it was
bum 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 bum. You know,
I think that was in it. So that's why I think it was that.
Yeah.
But it was good when I was a kid. But then when I'm having to listen to something that evokes, I was liking this when I was 4.
Yeah.
That really does shoot it in the foot.
It's interesting.
I think it was very white.
Oh yeah, super white.
And I have no.
We can't. It's so white. We can't even talk about how white it is. Like that's just the glow. The glow is coming over us. It is white. I think
I can at best say I okay its existence. And the Decemberists as a whole.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the Decemberists.
I think I can sort of look at the Decemberists dead in the eye and say, I think your narrative is really fucking confusing and really up its own ass.
It's a fairy tale.
And even for a fairy tale, it's bullshit and stupid, and I hate you. But okay. You have my permission.
you have my permission to die. Whatever the Bane line is.
I don't. This was not for me.
No, it wasn't. I was
interested.
Shape, or this form. Was an experiment. I wasn't sure. Well, okay.
Well, whenever you do this, it's like it's either a meh or I really love it.
Yeah.
So that you got a negative emotion out of me is also a victory in its own way.
In its way. I'll tell you a story though about the Rake song, which is probably my favorite.
Oh dear God!
Song on it.
Things come out at 2 a.m.
Yeah, they do. I had it on my iPod for a long time, and about 5 years ago or so, I graduated and I did an extra semester to kind of boost my grades a bit to try to do some grad school stuff, which I didn't end up doing. And it was probably like one of the most miserable periods of my life for a lot of different reasons. But mostly I hated going to school because I made the huge mistake of taking English courses. And I thought, Sam likes writing. Sam likes reading and writing. This'll be fine. This is like writing. This is like a writing course. And no, it's all bullshit. English is bullshit. And I hated every second of it. And I even had to take like a 200 level course for English, which was a nightmare. So to set the scene, I was pretty miserable. And I was on the bus going out to UBC, and the Rake song came up, and it's going along. It's very bouncy, it's cheerful, but it's really like, it's about morbid child murder. And I was like, I can't deal with this right now. I literally cannot deal with this right now. Because I was kind of like, oh yeah, this song is about fucking child murder. I can't do it. And I flipped on to like Queen or some shit. Like, that was this moment of existential horror, and I was like, I really am not feeling it right now.
I think that we both like the Rake song as much as we do.
It's the best song.
Speaks problematically to us.
Yes, that is too. We're both
terrible,
cynical motherfuckers. So yeah, what would you give The Hazards of Love?
I think that there is a market for this album. I think that if you order now, you can get a copy of the Swan Queen or whatever the fuck it is.
The Crane Wife.
The Crane Wife for half off if you buy it with The Hazards of Love. I think that you should never murder your wife so that you two can live together forever.
I don't know that that's actually how it goes.
Yes, it is.
I mean, that's the fairy tale thing. Like,
oh yeah, but I think that
fairy tales are bullshit and they're horrible.
I think that if he could change to animals, he could have turned into a hawk.
No, I think he can only turn into a deer.
Then what the fuck was the problem? Just have sex with her as a deer.
Why is this your problem with the logic of it?
You can understand why I have no joy in my heart.
Yeah. So give me your grade.
I give this a half thumb up out of 2.
Okay. That's pretty bad, but it's not as bad as I thought it could be, honestly.
Well, I'm really tired. And I'm upset.
Annoyed with yourself.
And I'm upset at myself for being an idiot.
Yeah, mistakes were made.
I think I'm so angry at everything else right now. I don't think I could bother with the Decemberists.
Fair enough.
They have moderate success, right? They have money.
They've done pretty well for themselves.
I think nothing I can say can hurt them, and that's all I want to do.
There's a really funny video where the lead singer is like, I wrote a song once called Dracula's Daughter, and it is the worst song I've ever written, and now I'm going to sing it for you. And it is indeed a very bad song. Anyway, what is our common theme this week? I want to say
we fucked up,
but that start with an F, but we can't do that on iTunes.
Can we swear in the podcast?
Oh, absolutely. I put it on the explicit. Thank you. So we can indeed swear. We can't call the title that.
Jacob has to go on a flight.
Start with an F. We're not changing that. We're going by the book. Goddammit.
Flight.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Because if you'd gotten to the actual ending point in Deus Ex, it does end with you flying away.
I did look it up afterwards to see how it went. Okay. It's Flight from the Queen of the Forest and Flight from Vancouver.
Well, I was thinking more Flight from Life because of the suicide at the end. Mm-hmm. But,
Okay, so let's explain.
So you have to be punished.
Yes, I absolutely have to be punished.
And I choose punishment by virtue of we took so long.
Yes.
I choose death.
Yeah, we choose both. Okay. But I said to Jacob, because of my sins, because we petered out on the time limit, I am being ultra punished in this one.
The problem is I can't think of an ultra punishment that's like as actively painful as the Tommyknockers. I don't think I'm capable of that sort of pain.
Yeah. I still regret that. I feel like we went too far on that one.
I think I have found the next best thing.
Okay.
Lay it on me. Best I can do. And it is purely out of spite because I had to sit through the Hazards of Love.
Yeah.
Sam, you are going to watch in full.
I'm so scared.
The entire music video section of Death Grips' Government Plates. So not only do you have to listen to the songs, you have to watch the music videos associated with them. And I'm going to be watching you to make sure you are paying fucking attention.
Oh, see, I was going to do it while you were gone.
No, you have to be there.
Honor system, I'll do it.
Sam, there's a level of attention that I just don't trust you're going to bring after you start watching these. It is not that they are weird. It is not that they... I think they are about as destructive, and the music videos themselves are as destructive and violent and repetitive as the entirety of that album's music. Okay. And that is a spoiler I give to you for free.
Okay. How long are... I'm just out of curiosity.
Oh, it's short. It's like gonna take you like maybe an hour.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? This is an ultra punishment. Sam, you can do it while I'm gone. You're gonna do it 3 times, though.
Now we're talking. Now we're in ultra punishment territory. Okay. I will do this.
I think we also have the closing song for the next episode, and you're going to know what it is when you see it.
Now, as for you, my young friend,
I get a normal
You get a normal punishment.
I don't get ultra punishment.
I had a few ideas which are immediately escaping my mind because I didn't think I had to do this now. I thought I had until tomorrow.
You could ultra punish me for waking you up for this.
No, that's not fair. This is your story of how you fucked up was more than enough to sate me. Something that I like, but I don't really like.
I feel like if we ever did an album, this should be the...
Jacob just let it be known. Jacob just showed me a picture of a dick cake. What do I want you to do? Let's see here. Can't read a book because that's too long.
Well, I'm gonna be on vacation. I could just.
That is true.
I could just read.
See, the problem is I don't read books that I don't like, and I can't really throw Ready Player One at you because I think that would be the end of the podcast.
No, it wouldn't be, if you want to do that. It might be the end of our friendship. Not necessarily our working relationship.
Yes. we can still work together.
We can still work together, but just won't be the same.
It would be so tempting, and I'm going to say right now I'm not going to do this. It would be so tempting to lay down on you Armada, because that is a fucking piece of outsider art. That is one of the strangest, worst books I've ever read in my life. But it's not really...
I like Hot Mom Cest.
You don't know the half of it. You do not fucking know the half of it.
This is violence now.
It's not violence, it's just I want a reaction.
No, that's the Death Grip song I'm warning you
about. I see. God. God. Why?
I don't think we're going to be friends after you having to watch that 3 times.
No. My body is ready.
It's going to have to be.
Can I just defer your punishment and give you a good thing?
There are no rules to punishment, yeah.
That is true.
And I think I've literally done that to you before.
Punishment. You have, and you tricked me.
Does that mean the long form's going to be a punishment?
No, I don't want to do that. It's just would be miserable. So, since you're going on vacation and you have a little more time on your hands and a little more flight on your hands, you can listen to a podcast. We're going to get Inception.
No, I'm not looking forward to this.
Well, fuck. I don't think this won't be a punishment. You are going to listen to, and this was originally going to be kind of a long form thing, but I actually don't think it's going to take you that long.
Oh my god.
Or is it? You are going to listen to the first season of a podcast called Within the Wires.
I'm already not fucking looking forward to this.
It's really weird.
Okay.
I don't know what you're going to think of it.
Okay.
This isn't a punishment. I really legitimately love this.
I don't believe you. Okay, sure.
Your punishment might be worse. Okay, so yeah.
You get government plates 3 times. I get The
Yeah.
Wire.
You
Inside the Wire.
get The Wire, the TV show that's really good that I've never seen.
And neither have I, actually.
Yeah. Okay, that's our show. We'd like to thank Irritating Rainbow for our theme song, You Broke It. You can find that on the album Where the Truck Go. That's linked in the description. What's your final thought?
Sonic fans deserve to fucking die. Edit that out.
That's the laugh line. What are you doing to me? Do I have to put it in? Why must you antagonize the audience?
I'm not antagonizing the audience. I'm antagonizing Sonic fans. Okay.
Oh my
All right,
God.
hold on. Let's try it again. I can't think of anything.
That's it. We're locked in now, you motherfucker. We're locked in. You will reap the consequences of this. You've done this to yourself.
I think today this 24 hours is just going to be mistake after mistake after mistake. I don't think there will be any escape for me.
If I feel kind, maybe I'll bleep you out. They'll never know why I'm laughing.
What bleep fans deserve to bleep?
Oh, I should say, since this will probably come out after the other episode, if you're from the Onyx Path forums and you came here for role playing, this isn't really what we do here.
I'm sorry,
but
I'm not.
If you like the cut of our jib, stick around. Where we update sometimes. This show exists.
We normally update frequently, but someone was fucking.
Someone fucked up. Someone is being. Hey, I'm being ultra punished.
Mega ultra.
Also, if you don't understand why there's some sort of punishment involved in this podcast, you're really lost, and I'm really not going to explain it to you at this point.
I feel like we've really messed up with our formatting and with
the biggest problem of our show.
The editing and the premise.
Hey. Post-production Sam is goddamn champ. He has worked hard on this editing.
I didn't say
He does the editing. I was going to say that the biggest problem with our podcast is that the first episode we recorded, episode 0, which we do not really speak of,
Except all the times
that we do, explains the premise of the show.
Not we, you.
Yeah,
You're
fine,
the one who
me.
always mentions it.
Episode 0 explains the premise of the show, and we've never really actually sat down and said it all out.
Do we want to just do we're rolling. Do we want to just do a bonus episode where we actually explain the premise of the show?
Maybe we should do a little, teaser episode.
Do.
Told you not to touch it. Told you not to touch it. Told you not to touch it. Okay. He's doing the Picard face palm right at me now. Right now.
I just had this moment of looking into your eyes, and there's real joy there. There's this real sort of.
That hurts you? Does that hurt you?
I think it was the most uncomfortable feeling I'd ever had in my life, where I was just like,
you saw me be happy.
That I was like, I genuinely love this man, and he's like a brother I've always wanted, I never had, and you're a good friend.
We suck. We suck so much. Let's go into the episode. I don't know what to do with that. I really honestly don't.
I never thought I'd have a friend like this.
God damn, it's 2:30 in the morning. You can't do this on a podcast. 2:30 in the fucking morning. Have a nice flight. Think on your sins.